Are you in need of some writing inspiration? Has life just been getting you down and you're like, wow, I can't even find time to write? Well, that's okay. You don't need to write right now. You can totally just sit back and relax because today's stream, I'm going to do something a little different. Instead of doing some discussions and writing advice, I'm going to go straight into doing not one, not two, but three 20-minute writing sprints. I'm very excited about where I'm at with my story. So I'm going to be getting into it today. I'll be breaking them up by smaller 5-minute breaks. And definitely feel free to tag along during the breaks if you want to just like chat writing or you want to do whatever. I'll be here. I'll be your creative writing source of procrastination and inspiration and storytelling for the day. So, 3 writing sprints. I'm going to get straight into it. Today, I'm going to mix up the music just a little bit. Let's see. I'm going to start with Atomic Elf's DJ Atomic Elf. I'm going to start with his playlist, and then we'll throw in some others into the mix. All right, and let's see, last scroll. So we're going to do our first 20-minute writing sprint. Once again, if you're just joining in the live stream or the replay, feel free to just read along or kick back and chill with the beats. All right, last we left off, our last scarecrow is definitely still trapped. Hey, what's up, Jessica? Welcome. Metal Yellow. I love it. Love it. I was like, I hit a point where I'm like, all right, I'm ready to try to get to the midpoint. I want to get there faster. Okay. So last we left off, our scarecrow is still trapped. Scarecrow is still trapped in the Colosseum by the primates. We don't know what's about to happen to him, but Colosseum is pretty suggestive. And then Pebble, our pixie, is with the 3 dragons, figuring out how to scout the Colosseum. They made a deal to help her save the scarecrow in exchange for use of the magic stones that they're carrying. And then now we are on to Crow's group. All right, let's see what happens. 20 minutes on the clock, and let's write now. Hey, what's up, Vaughn? Welcome, welcome, man. Thanks for the like, my dude. All right. And that is a good first little writing sprint. Let's pull up the clock. We're going to do 5-minute break before I hop back into writing sprint number 2. Ooh, all right. So that was cool. That was a fun little sprint. I realized that I wanted to do something more focused on my writing because I'm getting so close to that midpoint, and I'm like at that. I want to say it's like 45%. I'm at that point in the story where something really cool is about to happen, and I'm super excited to write it, and I just need to get there because I've been leading up to the Colosseum for a little while. I've been asking myself how much of what I've been writing, and I want to say the past couple chapters, how much has felt like filler, and then how much has felt like concrete character development. Because I would say the last real story, I want to say the last real true story beat was probably when they were in the forest, trapped in the trapped in the lake, the lake of gunk by the crazy flower creature. So that was the last time where I want to say that really affected the story. Since then, they've been through a series of different obstacles. And even after them being captured or the scarecrow being captured, that was all leading up at the beginning of this story arc. So yeah, I've been fun. I've been kind of, I want to say the last two chapters, I've been doing a lot of world building. I've been doing a lot more world building, a lot more character development. I didn't realize that I was going to be introducing so many characters into these last chapters, but it felt as I'm doing it, it's feeling right. Now, some of the characters kind of feel a little flat, which is all right because the point is to write and see what comes out. Now, when I go back in my second draft and if you're working on or if you've worked on like a second or a third draft before, definitely chime in. I'd love to hear it. Like, what's your process when you're after you get through like the rough draft or the first portion of your story and you have to go back and do rewrites? Are there like certain things that you look for when you go through your second draft, or is it just like read it and whatever comes? For me, when I go through my like later drafts, I always have to ask myself, what is like, what are the characters? I break my approach into the 5 different elements that I like to speak of with, creative writing, and which is world building, character development, dialogue, plot, and structure. I'll usually go back for a grammar, which is sometimes called like a copy edit or proofreading on a later draft. But on that one, I'll combine all those into a developmental edit, and then I'll basically like outline and storyboard everything right before I go into the second draft. And that's how what's worked for me as I try to kind of make the experience more like fun and engaging and lively. So that's generally something that I'll try. And it works because then I get to kind of like visualize what are things about the story that I really liked, and then what are things that I know I need to really work on and change. And I kind of make it almost like gamify it a little bit. I make the second and the third drafts a game because there's like things that I have to fix for the story I know to make sense and be compelling. Usually in my first drafts, I tend to do a very good job of developing the core world and plot. Plot and world, I generally tend to be a little bit stronger on. Character development is hit or miss. It depends on which character. But I know for me personally, my opportunities sometimes can be grammar. Description, for me, it's like description, I'll do too much. So it's like recognizing that. I'm always going into later drafts with like, okay, so like I know that's an opportunity. So it's like, what am I going to do about it? And it's just being intentional with the plan. Oh, but I love it. Yeah, and it's definitely been a while since I've worked on a long form story like this. Yeah, it's been a hot second since I've done worked on a long form novel. I want to say it's definitely been years because even like my past solid 10 years. I mean, not like the past, but the majority of the past decade, I focused a lot more on scripts and screenplays. So it's kind of been a really nice refresher, nice breather to come back to this art form. I'm absolutely having so much fun with it. And I'm kind of asking myself, like, what about it am I really enjoying? And I just love the process. Just as easy as that. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to. All right, so that's going to bring us to the end of this little break. Like I said, we're going to be doing 3 writing sprints today instead of doing any real dedicated discussion. So, writing sprint number 2, I'm going to reset the clock another 20 minutes. And this time, let's go. I do love this one. Okay, so we're going to go back to our pre battle inspirational music mix. All right, and back into it. 20 minutes on the clock, and let's right now. Oh my gosh. Hey, what's up, Comet? Welcome, welcome. I'm just having I am having quite the time writing these characters for Last Scarecrow. I've literally the crows encountered a group of rodents who are trying to plan make an escape attempt or plan yeah, on an escape. They're trying to break out, save some of their friends. And these like rodents that I've introduced are hilarious. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing with these, but I kind of do. It's just funny. I have a squirrel. So I have a squirrel I haven't introduced yet, really, but she's got an attitude. I have the otter and the skunk who are leading like this tag team, like rescue services, and then two mice who are kind of just out of the loop. It's kind of a trip. Yeah, feel free to read along or hang out or get some of your own writing done. Right, awesome. That once again, another good little writing sprint. Oh, I love it. Wonderful, wonderful. 5-minute break on the clock. Timer's going. So that was good. I'm actually going to be able to get through this entire chapter. That with in the amount of time that I've been doing my writing sprints, it's definitely been an interesting it's been interesting for sure. I've been trying to think like how much time do I spend writing and how much time do I actually invest into like my writing process per day. I made the challenge and the commitment to write 30 minutes a day for a year. And for myself, I'm proud of it, but that's not sustainable for everyone. I'm curious, how often do you write? So like when you're not busy with life, whether that's schoolwork, family, or dating or whatever, what's a consistency of writing that's generally worked for you? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. So for me, when I think of consistency, I think I'm at a point in my life where I'm able to do it right now because I'm only focused on my business. But I think back to the times when I had a 9 to 5 job, when I did a lot of my customer service work, and then when I was trying to balance that with being a freelancer. And I think what worked for me during the months where my life didn't feel crazy was writers groups. That consistent once a week writers group served me well so many times. There was two groups that I was involved with, but one of them was very helpful. And then beyond that, I tended to have a habit of focusing what I was going to work on the mode on how inspired I was by my current story. You can probably relate with that actually. I know that's common for a lot of writers for we'll like put off writing something and then inspiration strikes and we're like, okay, just mad crazy person have to like write it all down and get it all out on paper and like it's a thing. we got to get it done. But that's one of the greatest moments when you're watching a piece of media, like maybe you're watching TV or you're hanging out with your friends, and that like inspiration just strikes and suddenly you're like writing and writing and writing and you come out with literally the coolest piece of work ever. I think a good strategy, a good goal for writers who struggle with consistency is the next time that you feel that inspiration strike, that moment where like, yes, the thing that you love. Next time you feel the thing that you love about writing, remember that feeling. Bottle it. Keep it. Remind yourself. Hold on to it as a memory and remember the way that that makes you feel. Because the next time that you're not feeling like writing, now, of course, I'm not speaking to which, like, if you're too busy, that's different. But the next time that you're feeling like you have some time to kill, maybe it's on one of your weekend days and you have a little extra time, then if you're feeling like writer's block, procrastination, the trick is to then remind yourself of that feeling of love, of what inspired you with your writing. And in the moment, it can be difficult because it's easier to go for the short term reward of hop on social media, go watch TV, go do something miscellaneous. But once you break past it, once you break past that mindset of the writer's block, the procrastination, the thing that's kind of stopping you, you'll get back into that creative spark. It feels like a slow climb. It feels like a slow journey at first, but it's once you break past the wall and break past the barrier. And I know that because that's worked well for me so many times, especially throughout this 74 days so far. It's definitely helped me like quite a number of times in these live streams for sure. So I get how hard it can be. Sometimes the struggle is real. But it's okay. What are you gonna do? At the same time, don't be too hard on yourself because sometimes writing can be quite taxing, and then sometimes we have unrealistic expectations and we're pushing ourselves too much. So appreciate what you've written. It will be that next great published piece of work when it's ready. And I'll be here. I'll be here to cheer you on. Okie dokie. So let's see what we got. All right. So we come to the top of this little writing break. If you find any value from these writing sprints at all, like and subscribe. Hit that like button. Let me know that you're finding value from these sprints, whether that's just hanging out, good music, or being able to throw on some cool writing stuff in the background. I appreciate it. Excellent. And we're going to cue back up our music. I'm going to reset my timer for writing sprint number 3. All right. So let me throw up. Oh, no, I want that to be a ticker. All right. So we're going to queue up writing sprint number 3. And then let's throw on before the battle. All right. The story and timer is back up. Reset the timer. 20 minutes on the clock. Writing sprint number 3. And let's do it. Hey, what's up, son? Thanks for stopping by the stream today. We're getting a couple really good writing sprints in for the day. These characters are planning to stage a, I guess not a jailbreak, bit of a jailbreak into an arena full of angry monkeys. We're gonna see how this works out for them. Feel free to kick back and chill out if you like. Whew, all right. Talk about another really good writing sprint. Woo! Oh, I finally got through the rest of that chapter. Chapter 24 was quite a doozy, let me tell you. We went through quite a lot. And look at that. What an ominously foreboding chapter, which we'll be exploring tomorrow. The first fight to the death. I was like, yep, that sounds about right. Let me tell you, I've done a good deal of setup for these first with this chapter. I realized what chapter 24 needed to accomplish was it really needed to accomplish the character setups for all these other characters. Um, because now there's three groups of characters with X amount of characters that have been introduced as supporting characters. So we have the Scarecrow, whose other trapped characters is the Bear Gore, a snake named Stretch, and then the rabbit who he's trying to befriend. We have the Pixie, who is with the three Dragonkin, the Gold Dragon, Gold Scales, and then Red and Blue. And then we have Crow, who is with his companion of rodents, Skunk, Audie, the squirrel, and the two mice, of which they are also on a rescue mission. So we've introduced quite a number of characters because this next chapter is going to be a lot. I would say that chapter 25, it feels like chapter 25, 26 is going to be a lot of action. We're going to have a lot of action over the course of the next three chapters in leading up and into the anticipation for our midpoint. So I am very much excited. Thank you so much. Appreciate you stopping by and checking this out. I'm having so much fun working on the story. Now, with where I'm at, my gut tells me I'll probably see today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. I mean, I might do another 3 writing sprints tomorrow. I'm super excited about it, but sometimes Fridays are hit or miss in what I want to do. Uh, Let me throw in a plug. Once again, if for our Saturday stream. So if you want a piece of your story read, an excerpt, or anything read and critiqued, shoot me an email, thecreativeghostwriter@gmail.com. Saturday is my live reading and critique show. Very popular. We've had some really great Saturday streams in the past. So I hope y'all will join me on Saturday. As I look towards tomorrow, my schedule will be the same. Another 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time stream tomorrow. So catch me here on the morrow as I continue on some exciting action. I think if you're here, you're gonna have fun as I explore these next parts because I know exactly what plot I want to do. I think it's always a little more challenging when I'm doing character setups because it involves a little bit more collaboration within my brain and the story. So we'll get to have some more fun tomorrow. Awesome. And I'm at 136. So before I wrap up, don't forget, like this stream on the way out. Let me know that you valued this, that some part of the stream from the writing sprints, the breaks, helped you out a little bit. Lets me know. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to call it a day. Thank you for joining me. I'm Kauffman, and I'll catch you on the morrow. Stay creative, my friends.